Welcome back to Return on Character. Thrilled to have you all here. And I'm really honored to have David Alvo of Impacta down in Chile today with us. I'm, of course, Dan Cooper, founder and CEO of Return on Character Investments, an investment strategy that allocates capital on the basis of the character of the CEOs leading those organizations we invest in. We're always interested in finding people that think character matters in the world, and I'm excited to bring David here to hear his story and to especially get his perspective from another part of the world. We're truly honored to have you here, and thank you for coming, David.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Dan.
Well, as you can imagine, I mean, I always love a title of a company that kind of says your purpose right out of the gate. Impacta clearly gives directional orientation for what you're probably doing today. But I always love to start going back to how you got started and how it leads up to today. So if you wouldn't mind just telling us your story, because I have a feeling it's pretty unique.
So I started really early as an entrepreneur. Like 12 years old, I was selling stuff and creating stuff. I had 20 businesses before I got into college, and stupid businesses. But yes, I was selling, everything I could. I sold services. I had people, friends of me working for me, and so I was really a businessman since I was a little. I'm an engineer, and I decided to create a startup 12 years ago when in Latin America there was not too many startups, not more than 5 VCs investing in startups. And so I did a lot of good things with that company, but I think more bad things with that company. I learned how to create companies and what to do and what not to do. And then I was a CEO for 2 other companies that were successful. One was sold, and the other one is still operating and growing. And then I started managing a VC here in Chile, like a foreign VC was coming to Chile, and they invested in my first company. And so I started managing that fund with the idea of understanding how the VC game it's played, and how VCs make decisions, and how the best companies were doing and growing globally and regionally, and also to create my VC network, right? And so I was 4 years out there. I invested 15 million in 27 companies. That fund is performing like the #1 fund supported by the government in Chile. And then I realized that I wanted to do good things for the world. I was doing things to take. I was trying to be successful. I was trying to have things and have a woman and have, and I was not giving. And I realized that this world was much more fun and meaningful if I was looking to give. And actually,
David, What was the moment that caused you to make that pivot? I mean, what happened to shift you in that direction?
Yeah, I did an astrologist read the Carta Astral. It's in Spanish. I don't know how to say it in English. Maybe it's astrology. They tell you then based on when you. And so he told me that in 3 years from the read, I was going to have money to buy a house. But in former lives, I was cheap. I did bad use of my power, and I did bad to a lot of people. And in this life, I came to give. And actually, my name is Give. David A. It's give life. And so I always thought that I was here for that, and I didn't took that what he said. But 3 years later, I got an offer to buy one of my companies that I was just enough to buy a house, to buy the house that I was trying to buy. And so that hit me, and started a spiritual journey, and understand that in this life it's about giving, and you will receive, with a lot more love. If you give with love, you will receive with more love, and everything it's better in several ways, in relationships, with friends, in business. So I decided to change the way I was looking at life, and I believed in the read. I actually believed in the read, and so he said, when you have that money, what you need to do is give that money. You don't buy your house, you give that money away. And so it was like 2 weeks thinking about it. Then the decision to give that money away. I only used 20% of that money, and the other money I invested in impact companies and donated most of it to things that I care about. Ancient people, people with disabilities, burned children. Here's an organization here that helps burned children in Chile, and like 10, it was like 10 or maybe more foundations that I became a member. So by doing that, it was not painful at all. I thought.
How did it feel? How did it feel when you did it? When you
amazing,
did it?
Amazing. Well, my wife obviously was not totally agree with the idea, because we wanted to have a house, but I never felt that good as that moment when I was taking the decisions, making the wires. It was like the best feeling I've had in my life, and so I realized that was the thing that I needed to do, that I wanted to do. And so 1 year later, one of the foundations, I had a problem with them because they didn't use the money as they said. And so I realized that actually the foundations, they were not having the best people, because they rely on donations, and when they don't have it, good people go to somewhere else to do something that can pay their bills. And so they don't have the best people, and they were depending on donations, so they didn't have a business model. So I realized that what I wanted to do for this life, and to actually create a legacy by my work, by doing what I do, is with impact investing. And so that's when I became the first investor at Betterfly, which is the first social unicorn in Latin America.
Tell us more about that. Tell us more about that. Give us context. Yeah.
Eduardo de la Mayora, the founder of that company, invited me to co-found the company. That at that time we were inviting people to live a healthy life and do exercise, and for each calorie they burn exercising, we will be donating those calories in food for children in need, malnourished children in Haiti. We gave a meal plan for 12 weeks of 1,000 malnourished children in Haiti, and most of the cases they die, or they don't develop well, their brain, their cognitive, they don't develop well. And so when you take those children from the malnourished state, you actually save their lives. And so we started doing that. Then we pivoted. One of the companies said, "I want that." We're taking dollars from marketing, the marketing departments, right? They wanted to say that they, as brands, were supporting this calorie transformation or this calorie conversion. And so then we realized that the HR departments had more money, and they wanted to inspire a healthy life for their employees. And so we started working with them, and now we sell life insurance, where we take care of them. We want them to live, and so we actually help them to live a healthy life. They have benefits. They have like meditation. They have everything related to health, and everything that they do, it's the policy. It's not the policy. The insurance is going bigger. Every time you sleep 8 hours, every time you do sport, your insurance. I don't know what's the the name in English, like what you get paid if you die, or your family gets paid if you die.
Oh, insurance,
growing.
life insurance. Life insurance.
It goes higher every time you do a healthy habit, and also for every healthy habit, you have coins that you can donate for children in need. You can plant trees, you can donate water all around the world. So that's what we do, and we are the first social unicorn in Latin America.
Let's break this down a little bit further. How many customers do you now have?
I think this is like 3,000. 3,000. I think we hit 3,000 clients, B2B clients.
I mean, the thought of losing weight so that other people can eat is like mind blowing. I mean, I hope that is one of the more powerful ways to motivate folks. Certainly would be for me. How did that translate? Did it work? Did it really kind of grab people?
We actually realized with data in the first year that people were more motivated to help others than themselves.
Right.
So if you create a plan to do sports, you will do it for someone else, not for yourself. You can cheat on yourself every time you want.
I'm blown away. So wait a minute. So that morphed into an insurance company, which still has that as a part of the plan, right?
Yes.
And do people record what they're doing every day on an app?
Yes. With smartwatch, I'm going to show it to you. But with a smartwatch, every it has to be a verified action, right? There's a few unverified actions that you will win not as many points as or coins as the verified ones, but you can if you meditate with Headspace or Calm or Puramente, which is an app here in Latin America. That will automatically go to the app and give you the coins that you need to donate.
Okay, for those of you who can't see, it's an app that basically is tracking. Okay.
And so I have benefits over there. I have I have 24/7 health therapy, mental therapy, or you have several benefits. And you have coins, and you can donate it. You can pick the ones the causes you care about, and so you can plant trees in different parts of the world. You can donate water in Africa. You can nourish children in Haiti, in Venezuela, in Chile. That's kind of it.
So to me, 3,000 doesn't seem like a lot compared to the value that you're bringing. What is your can I get on this? Can I get on this health plan? Can I get the insurance?
We're expanding now to the US and to Europe, and so yes, surely you will have the opportunity to. I have people working in the US that they have it. They don't have the life insurance, but they still can do sports and donate their good actions to people in need.
How do you do this? Okay, come on. Tell us. Tell people how they can do this.
The app is called Butterfly, like butterfly, related to the butterfly effect. I think we actually can generate a butterfly effect. So it's butterfly.com. And there's an onboarding for companies over there, and I think you can download the app and not having hired the life insurance, but you can do everything else.
How do you make the transition? How do my calories get in the mouths of a little girl in Haiti? How does that happen?
So actually, feeding children is really cheap. Like in Haiti. Every meal is $0.3, right? Around that, maybe a little bit less if you have if you buy a lot of food. And so within the business model of the life insurance, we had that covered. And so the only thing that we do, we charge companies for the life insurance. I think it's like $8 a month. It's something like that. It's not too much. And so, and for $8 a month for each employee, you are paying a life insurance that is growing for your employees, and at the same time you're paying the calories that they will convert into calories of food, or plant trees, or donate water. And it's all cheap. It's really, really cheap. Where it's more needed, it's not that expensive. And so it's all within the business model.
So tell me about your dreams and aspirations for the company, what you hope it turns out to be, and then your challenges.
Now I'm out of that company. Like I'm still a shareholder. So I'm an investor with my venture capital, but I'm out of the operation, so I'm not leading the vision of that company. But I know that the vision of the founder, who is a friend of me from my whole life, is to actually like change the world for the better, in a way that we can do things for others and live a healthier life. I think that's part of the dream. Maybe they're shifting every time they raise money. They have a different story to tell, where they're doing bigger and bigger. We have changed name once. We have changed the brand. We just changed the brand last week, so we're doing new stuff every time. And so, but the founder inspired me a lot to dedicate your life to do good for others. So that's
his or her name?
Eduardo de la Maggiora. Yeah, he's actually like a. He did Kona. He's like a super man, or I don't know how to say it, but he was like. So his story is like this. He was 18 years old. He got into a fight in a disco. His parent went to take him to the hospital, and driving, his parent had a heart attack, and so they crashed, and his father was like vegetal for 5 years, and so he took like responsibility for that, and he changed his life in 180% and degrees, I mean. And so he took care of his family. He was like the first JP Morgan. He was from Chile. He went to JP Morgan. He was in charge of all of M&A managed by JP Morgan in Latin America. He was making deals of billions. And then his mother got cancer. And so he stopped his life. He went to Africa. He started teaching children English and math. He created 2 colleges. He built 2 colleges in Africa, and now 2,000 students a year study over there. And he came to Chile to do this. And he's also an Ironman. He does an Ironman. He was like a champion, sub-champion of the world. You know, he's not a sportsman, but he can create everything with his life. And I think you will love to interview him. He's a really, really inspiring and with great character CEO.
Oh, I'd love to interview him. That sounds amazing. And again, the name of that company is Betterfly. So it's the same name as we find it up here in America as in Chile. It's Betterfly as well.
Correct.
Okay. What else are you doing now, David? I mean, what other things are you involved with?
Then I went to another company called Wheel the World. They are making the world accessible. One of the founders, I knew him when I played tennis when I was a little boy. Then he had a car accident, and he's now in a wheelchair, and so he decided to explore the world. And so he went to a place in Chile, here a beautiful place, but no one in the history of that place have ever gone with a wheelchair, because it's really like it's a difficult place to be in a wheelchair. And so he did it. That video, they documented that they made a video that got viral. Actually, Mark Zuckerberg presented the company in a Facebook conference, what they can do with Facebook, and now they are taking people with disabilities all around the world. And so I joined that company after Betterfly. I joined that company as an investor and to part of the team, you know, to build the engineering team, to build the product team, to make them work together, and to raise the seed round. and yeah, they're doing great. Also, they you know, the CEO of YouTube invested, the former CEO of Booking invested in the company. They have great investors, and now I decided to do my the purpose of my life at scale, and to invest and support other entrepreneurs trying to change the world for the better as a VC. That's what I'm doing right now.
And so are you on the hunt constantly for new ideas, just in Chile or other places?
I'm investing all over Latin America.
Okay.
Yeah, I have with this fund, I have invested in Mexico, in Colombia, in Argentina, and Chile, and now I'm investing in 2 more countries from Latin America. Yeah, my fund is operating in the US. Actually, one of my business partner in the US and one of my biggest investors in the fund is Alvo, which is, I don't know if you know him, is like the founder of Founder Institute. Founder Institute is like the biggest accelerator in the world. He created the VC Lab, which is an accelerator for VCs. He was roommate of Elon Musk, so he actually thinks really big also. And so, yeah.
How big is your fund right now? How much capital annually do you?
I'm raising 10 million. I've raised 5.5, and I'm still raising. This is my first fund, just to prove that purpose-driven founders trying to change the world will do fine. And then I'm gonna raise a bigger fund.
It sounds like you have a pretty darn good track record of finding some pretty amazing people. How do you find them? How do you find folks? And what are you doing today to source new opportunities?
I found, Dan, then people gets near to you when they resonate with you. And so the only way that people that can resonate with you is to be in these places and talk about what you think. And so people can get to hear you, and it's like, oh, this guy like really thinks like me, like myself. I want to get into contact. And that's why I wanted to be here, and I'm really proud and honored to be with you here, because I have the opportunity to tell what I think about the world and what I think we should be doing. And I'm sure someone will listen and will get in contact with me.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I am honestly truly surprised by just the first example that you gave of what you've been doing. And then the second one is incredible. But tell me what, I mean, maybe you already shared it, but what do you think the most character developing moment in your life as an entrepreneur was that kind of has developed you as a leader?
I think I built character failing in my first company. I think that changed my life. In a way that it's okay to be mistaken, and it's okay to be humble enough to understand that there's people that know more than yourself. And from that point on, I realized that the best mentors that I've had, without asking them to be my mentors and without knowing myself that they were my mentors, I realized that I needed more of that people in my way, and I look for mentors that I already did what I'm about to do or what I want to do, and people like that love to give back what they're good at. And so it's really easy. It's really easy in that, you know, be humble enough because to be a CEO or to be a leader, you need to be self-confident, right? And you know, and know what you're doing, and so what happened to me, I was really young, but what happened to me is that I covered myself in I know what I'm doing, and so I didn't realize that maybe I thought that I knew. There's a lot more that you don't know, and there's a lot of stones that you're gonna flip on, or I don't know how to say it, but you're gonna face a lot of challenges, and there's someone else that did that challenge already, and they can tell you, you know, look at that, don't hit that wall. I hit that wall. Don't do it again. Don't do it like me. You know, let me help you. And so in the entrepreneurial journey, you're always doing things that are first time for you. Maybe you're a serial entrepreneur and you know how to get to a company to a Series A, and you know how to build your team, and you know to get to product market fit, and you know how to raise money. That's okay. But you're doing that with a new company in a new industry with a new product. So you're always doing new things, and so I believe the most valuable thing about my character is knowing that there's someone else that already did it, and I have self-confidence that I can learn that, but I'm humble enough to ask for help. And it's really easy to get help because that people want to give back.
They're there, aren't they? Whenever you're there, when you're humbled enough to be able to be receiving it, they oftentimes show up.
So that was my building character, I think, as an entrepreneur, and I think in a spiritual way was to realize that this life, for me at least, was about giving. It's not about anything else. I really, really, really enjoy that. I've been receiving a lot more than I'm giving. That's why, and I got into a loop that I feel in debt with everyone around me. Right? They're really helping me in ways that I couldn't imagine when I started helping without asking anything in return. And so, and I really enjoy giving. It's really easy to go to a place and try to give. You go to a place trying to get a customer. You go to a place trying to get an investor, and you can easily go home without that objective. But if you go to give and you go to help, it's really easy to go home with your objective accomplished.
You know, the universe, God, created this wavelength amongst all of us that the most joy actually comes from the giving. And it's so hard for so many of us to realize that and act on it. But because society and business and everything else, it's actually the inverse, right? They kind of push you in the opposite direction. But the source of joy is the giving of yourself and your resources and to others. And it's like this little secret of the universe, and you've clearly discovered it. And I love it. My parent company, Bridgeway Capital Management, founder John Montgomery founded his company 30 years ago, and from day one said he was going to give 50% of his profits away, and has done so for 30 years. And as a consequence of that, just to share some inspiration, he ended up funding his foundation, the foundation that is run by my dear friend Shannon Cedric Davis, and they went after the prevention of genocide in the world, you know. And so here you have this financial company that went after the prevention of genocide, and basically went out and dismantled the LRA and Lord's Resistance Army, and put an end to the most gruesome, darkest place and activity in the world. And it's because they chose to give. And I tell you, John and Shannon, I mean, they wouldn't walk away from those giving dollars for almost anything in their life, you know, because it's the source of their greatest joy, you know. And I mean, they love what they do from a business standpoint, but the business is enabling the greatest joy in their lives. And I see that in your face, for those that can't see. And it's clearly you've discovered that in the heart of your business, and I'm just so grateful for you that it's fun to find another soulmate in the category. So I think it's just terrific. It's so terrific to hear your story, David. You know, just closing up. Any advice that you would have for your younger self? I can almost guess what it's going to be, but it's a fun question to ask as we close up. For someone that's kind of gone down the path a little bit, what would you say to? I mean, there's a strong movement towards impact, right? And you know, some people could get kind of maybe a little callous on it. It's so soft. What's your recommendation to those that are entering the business world, or those that are in midstream with their business right now, how they should consider engaging the world and themselves?
Yeah, well, I would say maybe a few things. The more obvious is be be humble enough to ask for help in every aspect of your life. It doesn't have to be only business. It can be like mental health, and it can be like relationships, or it can be like, I don't know, getting things in order or whatever. And whatever you're struggling, somebody else already did, and they are open to help. So don't be afraid to ask. That's it. And you will receive a lot. And the other one is you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait to have to give. You just give, and you will have. And so if you give, you will always have. And I think it took me years to realize that I was taking from the life that I wanted to have things. And so try to give. And in terms of business, always give. Don't try to charge more. Don't try to use the contract to get more of what you deserve or what you think. In business, especially here in Latin America, because it's a smaller world, right? But if you do things right, you will get things right on return. And if you do things wrong, you will get wrong things on return. And so, and I actually believe in karma, in business karma. And so, as soon as you can, try to give to your employees, try to give to your client, try to give to your investors, whatever they need. Investors might not need money. Investors might need involvement. Investors might need to be heard. Investors might want, I don't know, be recognized. And so if you care about giving, you will really quickly understand what people are looking for, and you will be able to help. It's going to be clear for your eyes. If you're looking to help, you will quickly understand what people are looking for, and you will be able to help. And so, when you start helping, you will receive. Think about my 10% of my exit was to invest in Betterfly. That gave me 150x. And that was all about giving. I was not expecting anything in return. That was, give to a company that I believe is gonna be a world changer, and that was it. I was not expecting anything in return, and I got that. And so it can be a coincidence, of course. Everything can be a coincidence, but the way I experienced that experience in my life, I firmly believe that you have to give. That's it. You want love, give love. You want to have good friends, be a good friend. You want to have a good business partner, be the best business partner you can be. And you will get back. Life, if you see on Earth, for people that are not watching, planet Earth, there's magnetic fields doing this. And there's like shorter rounds and bigger rounds. You will receive maybe tomorrow, or maybe the round is going to be longer and you will receive in a decade. But everything, what goes around comes around.
Please take some time right now and tell us how to get in contact. Tell people how to reach you, how to learn about some of your companies. I just want to give you that opportunity to communicate that, because I think it's so important.
Thank you, Dan. The social network that I'm using now, it's LinkedIn. So there I'm David Alvo Verdugo, which is kind of difficult for the English, but Verdugo with a B. And Impacta VC, that's my company. You can go to impacta.vc if you're a founder, or maybe you want to be a partner, a coach for the companies of the founders, a limited partners, and we're still open on that. And so I cannot say that. You can raise that. I cannot publicly. I do it like general solicitation, but I'm looking for partners in every single way. That if you want to change the world with someone that is trying to do that, I'm happy to be connected.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. And one of the standards I have for having guests on the show is having people that make me better as a human being, and you've certainly exceeded that today. So Thank you so much for the honor of having you on.
Thank you, Dan, for those words and for the invitation.